Good morning, friends, and happy Saturday. I am still in the city of Atlanta. I have about 3 hours to go to waste time. So I thought what I would do is try to find some historic spots, and my battery is about ready to die and I don't have another one with me. Dang it. So basically what I've been trying to do is trying to find the birthplace of Martin Luther King Jr. because he was born here in Atlanta, Georgia. And this is where he started all of his stuff. Well, I am in Freedom Park. This is Freedom Park. In Freedom Park, it says the beginning of the far end of the parking lot. I don't know if it's the far end where I'm standing or the far end down there. A gentle paved trail extends through Freedom Park, which links the Martin Luther King Jr. National Historic Site with the Jimmy Carter Library and Museum. Walk 1.5-mile trail and spend some time looking at the museum exhibits about the nation's 39th president and an ongoing work of the Carter Center. So I'm not really sure. Oh, so I am here, and Martin Luther King National Historic Site is right here. Visitor Center. Interesting. But his house, his birth house, is supposed to be around here somewhere, but I don't see it anywhere. Let's go see this thing. Let's go see what this thing says. Visiting the historic area. Martin Luther King Jr. National Historic Site commemorates America's permanent civil rights leader. Here and in the adjacent business district visits the places and shaped and memorialized the life of and work of Dr. Martin Luther King. So Visitor Center, I am here. So Ebenezer Baptist Church is right over there. That's Ebenezer. Grave site of Martin Luther King Jr. Oh, and then the birth home of Dr. King. So see, I know there's a birth home and stuff, but I just can't find all that stuff. So it's in this vicinity right here, but I still don't see the house. I see Ebenezer Baptist Church, and then the grave site. I didn't see all that. Interesting. And then there's the birth home. So I am here. So I need to go like down this way. Oh, let's go figure this out. Because see, there's this stuff. Number 6 is Sweet Auburn Walk. And number 5 is Ebenezer Baptist Church. Number 4 is his grave site. Oh. I'm going to have to come back and do all this. And then this is his house, which I was just looking for that and I couldn't find it. Interesting. So, okay, so I had to go all the way back to my hotel, which is like 3 miles down the road, and get my battery because my other battery died. So now I'm back at the historic area, and it told me that I have to like walk over this way for all this stuff. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I have to walk that way. So that is what I'm gonna do. 2 things. This is probably not the safest place to be walking around in Atlanta, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Oh, thanks. But I'm gonna do it because I'm interested in this historic site. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yay for me! So this is the Martin Luther King Jr. National Historic Site. Right here. National Historic Site. Look at that. Very cool. And then this is the home place. Sweet Auburn. Neighborhood meant many things. He lived here. I can't really see a lot of it. Ministered here, and he would come to lead a great human movement from here. So it's very hard to read. Some of it's been, maybe you guys can read it better through there. I don't know. Okay, so this is it. So Ebenezer Baptist Church is part of the Martin Luther King movement as well. And so I think that's where we're headed. Over here is part of that movement area, and then across the street is his final resting place. Not exactly sure what the footsteps mean, but we're gonna figure it all out. Oh, there's names attached to these. The Lynx Corporation, Mayor Ernest. So I'm not exactly sure what the the steps mean, the footprints. Not really sure. Huh. I don't think they say much. Let's see. Oh, so this is the International Civil Rights Walk of Fame. Okay, so that's what that was. Very nice. When I walk back this way, so there's some on that side too. So when I walk back to my car going that way, I'll make sure that I check those out. And this is, oh, Gandhi. The Mahatma. Gandhi. Oh, yeah. Cool. So this is the visitor center, but I'm pretty certain it's probably closed because it's still early. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning. Cool. Martin Luther King Jr. Center. Pick up brochures. Cool. So here is, I'm getting ready to cross the street here. So I guess this whole area, like blocks, is dedicated to him. So this is the Martin Luther King Jr. Center for Nonviolent Social Change. Gotcha. How nice. Notice it said non-violent social change. Very nice. So this is his, oh, there's the final resting spot. Okay, please watch your steps. Surface may be uneven. Nice. Oh, there is security here. Oh, that's nice. Chapel of All Faiths. How nice. So this is his final resting spot. And then back there is like, nice. On Coretta Scott King. We're allowed to take pictures. Curious to know. So this is his final resting place. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., 1929, 1968, and Coretta Scott King, 1927, 2006. Which I remember when she died. I didn't realize that they were buried here though. Shame on me. Very, very cool. Nice. Take a picture. Nice. And then back there is like a whole wall, a monument of all kinds of stuff about all that. Very, very pretty though. Very, very nice. Nice. So, are they buried right there then? I don't understand. Beautiful. The eternal flame. The eternal flame symbolizes a continuing effort to realize Dr. King's ideals for the beloved community, which requires lasting personal commitment that cannot weaken when faced with obstacles. Nice. Beautiful gardens. Very nice. So you can walk on this side too. Very, very cool. Commemorating the 50th anniversary of the Voting Rights Act. Very, very cool. President Johnson signs the Voting Rights Act July 1965. See, that's where I want to go to, is Selma, Alabama, and the Selma to Montgomery March. Awesome. Neat. What it looks like from down here. Cool.
That a vault and a crypt, the bodies are above the water, above the ground.
Okay.
And because it is, you know, Miss Kadow was way ahead of her time in thinking, creating this reflection pool dedicated to her husband and being, it's pretty symbolic that she's laying
next
side by side with her husband, facing the eternal flame forever.
Oh, they're both facing the eternal flame forever. Awesome.
That's pretty awesome.
That is pretty awesome. Wow. I feel horrible that I had no clue that this place existed.
A lot of people, ma'am.
Wow.
A lot of people come here and they've lived here and haven't been back here to see this.
Wow.
So it makes it even more enjoyable.
It does.
You know,
Yeah.
it makes it even more enjoyable.
Yep, it sure does. Well, thank you so much for your information. I appreciate that.
Oh, not a problem, man. Enjoy.
Thank you. So they are both buried right here. And she created this reflection pool for him. And they are both facing the eternal flame. Very, very cool. Very, very, very cool. So they are entombed inside of there. So they are inside of there. Unbelievable. Wow. So, and not knowing a lot of things about me really, these type of things are super important to me. This type of stuff is super important to me. History, civil rights, people who make a difference, people who stop and try to make a difference. Martin Luther King made a difference. What an amazing place. So glad that I actually came here. It's beautiful. And I had no clue that it existed until I Googled it on historic sites in Atlanta. Unreal. So if memory serves me right, this is Ebenezer Baptist Church. This, I think, is where he first started preaching. Let's find out. Ebenezer Baptist Church, National Historic Landmark, possesses national significance in commemorating the history of the United States. Ebenezer Baptist Church has been a spiritual, social, and political center, a home away from home for generations of Black Atlanteans. Under leadership of the Williams and King families, the church dedicated itself to helping individuals with their everyday food, shelter, and health needs. During the civil rights movement of 1950s and 1960s, Ebenezer gained a worldwide reputation as a springboard for educational, voter registration, and other civic reforms. Martin Luther King Sr., front row, seated at left, and early members of Ebenezer Baptist Church. Look at that. And Reverend King Sr. used to tell us on Sunday, "I love you, Ebenezer, I love you." That's what we were told. That's why I'm still at my church, because of the love he gave not only to his children, but the whole membership. Look at that. Very, very cool. And the doors, neat. Very, very cool. So I think this is like, hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Fine, how are you?
You take a picture of that one?
I did. It's
This is for Ebenezer, right? That's the second one over there.
the second one is over there.
Yeah. Sure.
Awesome. Okay, so I was wrong about him starting preaching here. Very, very cool though. Neat. I want to take a picture of this. Neato. Because I have such a passion and love for graffiti as well. Look at how cool that graffiti and stuff is over there. So neat. This is the old 4th Ward on Jackson Street Northeast in Atlanta, and this is Ebenezer Baptist Church. This is the second one that I guess he got started. Neat. Very, very cool. That's a big church. I bet you that'd be so fun to attend too. Really, really cool to attend. So I'm gonna walk up here, and then I'm gonna go into this little memorial garden right over there and check that out. Neato. I wish the stores and stuff were open, because then I could get more, you know, history or whatever. I think there's a man up here. I'm not sure what he's doing, but he might be praying or something. So I just want to see who this guy is up here, and then that will end my tour for right now. Very, very cool. So peaceful and meaningful. Yeah, he just keeps pacing back and forth. I think that's like a homeless shelter right there, that old Ebenezer Baptist Church. So I think that's what that is. So let's see what this is. It doesn't exactly say what the statue is, but let's go over here and read what that says. Huh, interesting. Oh, there's one of those streetcars. So here's some history about Ebenezer Baptist Church. The world of young Martin Luther King Jr. revolved around Ebenezer Baptist Church. Here, his grandfather and father preached in favor of desegregation, voting rights, and equal pay. Social issues he would later embrace and espouse. His grandmother and mother directed the choir and other church groups. He was nourished spiritually and instilled with a tradition of leadership and activism that would profoundly influence his life. Very, very cool. So there he is up there preaching. Neato. And I'm assuming, since it's that old church, it's that one right there. It's the old church. So Martin Luther King, right there in the pulpit, over here at this church. Wow. So let's look at this historic thingy right here. Sweet Auburn Walk. I call it my Auburn Avenue, the street which is known all over America as the center of activity among black people in the South. Here, in the days before desegregation, blacks could feel free from racial harassment as they went about their daily lives, operating and patronizing restaurants, markets, barbershops, dry goods stores, doctors' offices, theaters, and nightclubs. Here, along Auburn, the cross streets, a few parallel streets, they established churches, banks, funeral homes, newspapers, insurance companies, fraternal organizations, and their homes, a self-contained community. The neighborhood was so sweet, with opportunities for advancement that John Wesley Dobbs, inspired by an Oliver Goldsmith poem, dubbed it Sweet Auburn. Here, Dobbs said, existed 3 keys in liberation: ballots, bucks, and books. Interesting. That's really, really cool. Very, very historic. This is the I Have a Dream World Peace Rose Garden, maintained with the assistance of the GFWC Atlanta Women's Club, living the volunteer spirit since 1895. In each one of these, there's, I don't know how many there's around this little garden, but there's different little poems and sayings and stuff around the garden. This one is from a girl in India. She's 11. This one is from a girl in Griffin, Georgia. This one is from a young child in Mexico City. And this is the rose garden. I guess how the rose bushes are, you know, formed in this way. The pink roses in the center represent Mrs. Coretta Scott King's oneness with Dr. King and her continuation of his work. The band of red roses that weaves its way through the garden honors African Americans and their contributions to the history of the United States and the world. The solid bands of white roses acknowledge the special bond and similarity of peace movements between Martin Luther King Jr. and Mahatma Gandhi. The various clusters of multicolored roses symbolize the nations of the world and the universal appeal of Dr. King's message of peace through nonviolence. The inspirational message of peace are written by students from the Sweet Auburn community expressing the ideals of Dr. King. New messages are placed in the garden at the annual rededication ceremony. So the museum and the interesting artifacts of this area are open, and they allow me to film, so that's awesome. For black children, 1930s America, color mattered. It affected where you lived, went to school, even your seat on a bus. Color often determined your choices and opportunities, your friendship and future. At the same time, life was more complicated than black and white, even in the segregated South. Successful and energetic black communities such as Atlanta's Sweet Auburn, where young Martin Luther King Jr. grew up, offered a wealth of support and services. The sting of injustice and the vitality of black communities both were a part of growing up segregated. Yeah, look at that. Drinking fountain for blacks, drinking fountain for whites. Ooh, that would make me so mad. Stuff like that would just make me so mad. Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you're nobody. Always feel that you count. Always. So I wonder if that was one of his shoes. I think that's a pair of shoes. Ball. Traveling. Yeah, so this house is just like right across the street, and I kind of missed it, so I want to see it. So that's what it looked like 501 Auburn Avenue in 1895, and then it was restored in 1989. And of course the church, Ebenezer Baptist Church, and inside that, what I just did. Double shotgun house, restored. And this is another one, 550 Auburn Avenue, and restored. And then this one, 509 Auburn Avenue, and then restored, reconstructed. And then these ones. Powerful. Powerful, powerful. I gotta see what time it is. 10 o'clock right now. I want to take a picture of that. Cool. Courage to Lead, the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Marching for change. Dream Gallery. Light is reflecting.
And I'm talking about your events. In your Peace Prize. You said God is you can choose to alleviate suffering. You can choose to now, obviously, a lot of people have difficulty doing right. You choose to do that's the legacy that you choose to do.
But the man doesn't sound like a ball crowd. Yeah, that's the rule. They own so much in York. This is a money thing. I like hold a line, they don't pay taxes. Yeah, this is a big and something right after that. I think they also got it. You know, like a dog. You know what? When I was in the army, I remember coming to a doctor job. I went to the bank, and I'm really good uniform. And then back to the back of the building. I'm a soldier. Defending this damn practice. First bus came by. Never.
That night, the first time ever.
To separate them from others of similar age and qualification solely because of their race generates a feeling of inferiority as to their status in the community that may affect their hearts and minds in a way unlikely ever to be undone.
When the Brown decision was handed down, African Americans.
So all of these statues, this street, it has different places: Cairo, Illinois, Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party, St. Augustine, Florida. These people are walking out towards that window, out towards where Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott King are buried, across the street there at that memorial. Neat.
President's statements from 1965 were related to war. He forgot the Great Society. He forgot about it. So Martin said the war in Vietnam is dividing not only the nation's treasure, but the nation's conscience.
So as I was saying before, this is the Civil Rights Walk of Fame, and they have them lined up on that side, and then they have them lined up on this side as well. So I'm gonna go through and walk through these and take a picture at the same time. So Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder right there. Lena Horne. Sidney Poitier. Tony Bennett. Lorraine Bennett Jr. Very, very cool. Very, very neat. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So as I'm parked at this red light on Boulevard, this says church. It has the glory hole, ping pong, and it says no open or concealed Bibles allowed on premises. What kind of church is that? Very strange. Alrighty, so I missed seeing the birthplace of Martin Luther King, so I'm gonna turn down this way. If you go down right here, this is where the memorial was, where he's buried and stuff, and his wife. This is the memorial garden, or the reflection pool area, and then this is Auburn. So I'm gonna turn right down the street, because this is where he was born, down here. This is the fire house that they were talking about, and so I'm gonna turn right here, because this is the birthplace of said Martin Luther King. Very, very cool. And I wish I could get out and park, but they're interesting. I don't think that I can, so it says stop. So there's the birthplace of Martin Luther King. I'm gonna get out, I'm gonna park.
This is a 57 Chevy.
Yeah. Is there a significance to...
No, I just wanted to take a
Oh, okay.
It could be, because I know it was back in that day.
Yeah.
Rusty it is.
That's what I was just curious. I was just...
This car right here, it ain't like the new cars, because if you hit this, you gonna get hurt.
Yeah. It'll crumple up real quick.
This car,
Yeah. This is the Harper House. So there is like no significance to that. So that's the Harper House. And this is where Martin Luther King was born. His birthplace, right down here, which I'm getting ready to go check it out. So there used to be like an institute here, I suppose, and it's now all gone. It used to be right here. So this is the birth home of Martin Luther King. It's temporarily closed for repairs, but that, my friends, is it right there. So let's take a look-see. The birthplace of Martin Luther King. There it is. Beautiful home. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's see what this one is. As I drive down these streets, this one is called Old Wheat. The next block over is Auburn, where Martin Luther King was born and lived for 12 years. Just think, that house right over there, that one right over there, this is where he played and ran up and down the streets. And this is his city, this is his town, this is historical. This is amazing to me, absolutely just amazing. And I love, 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 love the history of everything around here. And I'm so glad that I spent my morning here doing this historical thing. Awesome, 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 awesome.